Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Hey, listen. It finally happened, okay? It finally happened, and it's awkward, and, you know, it's going to be shocking. Yeah, it's just, I did it. I finally did it. I lost my glasses. So... I know. Get it out of the way. Get the jump scares out of the way. Okay, this is what I look like. Yeah. I know. It's going to be weird. I know. And you know what? Look, too, I'm going to tell you this. I'm just being honest here. I'm going to do my best, but I have to be honest with you guys, you know. I'm bad at these kind of things, so it might be a little while before I get glasses again. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know where they're at. I feel like I lost them at the movie theater, but we called the movie theater yesterday and we tried to find them, and they said they didn't have them. So, like, I don't know. Did I lose them somewhere else? Did somebody scoop them up from the theater? I have no idea. But either way, it was probably time for me to get new glasses either way. I think I've had those glasses for like 10 years or something. Like, I think pretty much since I started YouTube, I've had those glasses. So, yeah, kind of wild. So anyway, yeah, I probably need to get new glasses, but I'm going to be honest, it might be a little while before I get that. So just buckle in. Okay? Just buckle the fuck in. Okay? So that's the first thing. What a world, right? And yeah, other than that, man, it should be a good week, man. We've got a lot of exciting stuff to talk about. So I do want to talk about a lot of Doomsday leaks today. The Cosmic Circus did a Q&A over the weekend. I think they dropped it on Friday. They might have dropped it on Saturday. I'm not really sure. But either way, they dropped their Q&A, and it was cool. You know, there's a couple of really interesting things that Alex sort of teased in there that I think are cool. So I want to go over some of those today. And we also have some Vision Quest leaks, which are like, I don't know, man. You know, like, I would love to like hear some shit about Vision Quest and be like, oh damn, that might actually be kind of cool. And we're like borderline there. Like, it feels like some of the stuff that they're saying is in there because Daniel had some scoops about it. Some of it seems like kind of cool. I'm not sure what they're really cooking or like how it's gonna go, but it sounds like kind of cool. I don't know, man. We'll talk about that. I want to touch on the box office for Superman and Fantastic Four a little bit as well. Unfortunately, we have to talk Andor numbers because we got to give Andor its flowers, man. No stream on Friday last week after the Nielsen numbers came out, and Andor had the #1 slot. Fuck. Okay, so we'll get into that. We'll break it down. We'll be fair to Andor. We'll explain all of that. And then Gunn, I guess this article just dropped. A Rolling Stone article, which is like so cringe. You know what I mean? All these black and white photos of James Gunn, it literally makes me sick. This is one of the most cringe human beings walking the planet right now. But he also happens to be in charge of the DCU. So he does say a whole bunch of shit in here. I'm going to be honest. I don't think I could read through this whole thing. I just don't think I have it in me. We could pull up all the photos and like make fun of them if we want. But what we could also do is look at what are like the headlines. Like, what are the things from here that are popping? What are the things that people are talking about on social media? You know what I mean? So there is probably a good bit of stuff in here. One thing I saw right away, he's not writing the Batman movie, which is like, thank God he's not writing the Batman movie. That's actually a huge W. And we'll get into some of the other things that he said. He talks about killing a movie that was about to be greenlit. Everybody kind of thinks that's Clayface, which again I think would be great. That's a W. But yeah, so we'll probably like end the stream talking about that kind of stuff because it's a big sprawling article. People are like grabbing all the headlines and all the little things and aggregating. So that's what's probably on the agenda for today. Other than that, I had a good ass weekend. I hope you guys had a good weekend too. Went out and saw the Dragon movie on Saturday, and I actually thought it was pretty fun. I wonder if any of you guys saw the movie. I think that movie is crushing from what I saw. And I didn't even look too closely, but my theater was fucking packed. I saw a lot of people talking about how packed it is. And I think it's crushing, man. You know, I think it's doing really well in the box office. So I don't know. I guess that means more to come. I thought it was fun. You know, I had a good ass time on it. So that was enjoyable. Of course, we did a Diamond Lounge actually on Saturday night, not Friday, because I was feeling a little under the weather. But that was really cool, really crazy. So shout out to everybody that came by for the Diamond Lounge. Apparently, we freaked some people out with that. Yeah. So, but it was a good ass time. And then we did do a Prime stream yesterday as well, just going over some business stuff. So, kind of a lot of work on the weekend for me. You know, it's light work, right? Just a little bit of streaming here, a little bit of streaming there. But definitely some work packed into the weekend. Other than that, though, chilled. Tried to kind of kick back, enjoy as much as I could. But ultimately, pretty excited about this week. I think it's gonna be a fun week, man. I think it's gonna be a fun week. I hope you guys had a good weekend. Anybody do any crazy stuff? Any super fun stuff happened over the weekend for you guys? You know, one thing I saw that was kind of funny. I think Marvel Rivals had a really big tournament over the weekend, and one of the things one of the things that happened in the tournament was there was a team, and dude, you got this is gonna be so relatable to some of you guys. One of the teams was literally called Jobless Bums. Okay, so throw a 1 into the chat if you're a jobless bum, right? So the team was literally Jobless Bums. Okay, and they all are literally jobless young kids that just grind on Rivals for like 14 hours a day. Okay? And they did really well in a $3 million tournament, dude. Like, they did really well in the tournament. It was funny. I just saw a lot of funny tweets about it, a lot of funny interviews with the casters and whatnot, because a team of jobless bums almost beat a bunch of professional gamers in a really big tournament. In fact, I'd love to know because I think 100 Thieves won the whole thing, right? How close did Jobless Bums get exactly? Can anybody find out exactly how close Jobless Bums got? And did they make money? Did they get into the money? Let me just look this up right now. Like, I'm fascinated by this. This was so interesting to me. Behold the gods of unemployment. Oh my god, dude. Marvel Rivals Esports, almost 2 minutes. Okay, yeah. How did Jobless Bums just backdoor to 100 Thieves? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, dude, they were making headlines all weekend. I don't know where they actually ended up in the tournament. Does anybody know? Does anybody have that info? Oh, it's not finished yet. Okay, are they still in it? Jobless Bums, dude. I'm rooting for him, man. That's awesome. Zach says, bro, I'm getting so hyped for Doomsday with every new rumor I hear. I'll watch this after work. Much love, Nerd Avengers. Hey, appreciate you, bro. We've got some juicy ones today, man. We got some juicy ones today about the loop that the MCU is on, Thor, and how he's going to find out about everything. It connects to eternity. I see a lot of things that are all connected together. Yeah, so there's some cool stuff that we can get into when we get into the Doomsday discussions. Den of Loop, 100%. You think they finished top 5? Ooh, dude, that's some serious money for those jobless bums, man. We will watch their career with great interest. You know what I mean? Little Anakin energy. Dude, the jobless bums. I'm gonna go out and get a jersey. I mean, what a feel good. You know, there's not a lot of positive stories in the world these days. You know, the world's pretty chaotic. A lot of bad shit happening. The jobless bums getting it done. Wow. What a world. What a world. So, I tell you what, guys. You know what we should probably do? Let's talk Andor a little bit. Then we can get into the Doomsday leaks. Then I want to talk Vision Quest leaks. Then I want to talk box office for Superman and Fantastic Four, because there's still like some rumors floating around about that shit. And then we'll get into all the new Gunn comments from his Rolling Stone spread. Just H says, could you scoot over a bit so we can peep at Shin in the background? Shin Vengers for life. Much love, brother. Hell no. I'm going to tear her ass down. What is this? The Den of Shin? No. It's the Den of Nerds. I'm the nerd. Zach, thanks for the gifted membership, brother. Appreciate you. Rossi says, Theory streamed last night. He said you should watch Andor 7 of 12. He didn't know it charted #1. Fake news, bro. Sounds like fake news to me. Until I see a clip. And even then, it's probably AI. So, fake news. Fake news. Good try, though. Good try. Are you following the Club World Cup? Nah, I don't know what that is, brother. Is that soccer? Is that soccer? Katie Sackhoff Star Wars script leak? I don't know what that means, man. Those are certainly some words that you just put together there. Those are certainly some words. You know what? Since Rossi's already started us talking about Andor. Okay, let's talk about Andor. You know, you guys want to talk about Andor, I guess, a little bit here? We can talk about Andor. So Andor is a show, a Star Wars show. I wonder if you guys have heard of it. And traditionally, the whole thing with Andor has always been, you know, it's a different kind of Star Wars. It was very mature. You know what I mean? Tony Gilroy was like, I don't even like Star Wars, so I'm trying to change it. You know? And everybody was like, he's so brave. And Andor also had controversy in its first season because its viewership was very low. And, you know, there may be different factors as to why it was low, but it was kind of undeniably low, man. I mean, it used to be the whole thing. The meme was like, nobody watches Andor. Okay? That was like the whole meme. So much so that they put it on like Hulu and ABC. They were basically like begging for viewership. In fact, there were comments made by Tony Gilroy where he said something like, you know, we thought we'd have the audience, but we'd sort of be trying to convince the critics. But it seems like we're actually chasing the audience and the critics got on board. He made comments like that after the first season, which were really interesting. It's all just to say that, like, yeah, the viewership seemed really low for what it was, okay? Now, having said that, of course, Andor always had its sort of stout defenders, people that thought it was incredible, people that thought it was quality, people that thought it was, frankly, what Star Wars should be, and kind of different than, you know, all the George Lucas Star Wars and a lot of the Filoni stuff that we had been getting over the past couple of years. Well, it started to really perform well in its second season. Now, asterisks. Put an asterisk next to it like Thunderbolts. Except this one is not a marketing gimmick. The asterisk is because Andor, of course, had a release schedule that was designed to chart. Okay? What do I mean by that? Well, what is charting, right? What is charting on Nielsen? Nielsen is charting the minutes watched, the millions of minutes watched for all of these shows in a condensed time period. It's like the new way we do ratings, okay? So Andor, I believe even in its third week, maybe even in its second week, I'm not sure, because I think it only had 4 weeks because it released 3 episodes a week, 4 weeks, 12 episodes total, chunked them all into a month, okay? And so Andor, I think even as soon as week 2, but definitely by week 3, hitting some huge numbers. It got up into the Nielsen charts on both the original and the overall chart, which was pretty mind-blowing, okay? But just last Friday, we got the official streaming numbers for the finale of Andor, the very last episodes. And, well, frankly, it fucking dominated. Check this out. Andor hits #1 in streaming rating during finale week. Andor has been the most critically acclaimed TV series in the Star Wars canon. Now it appears it is drawing viewerships to match the distinction. Nielsen, top 10 streaming rating for the week ending of May 18, 2025, shows Andor as the #1 streaming show / movie with over 931 million minutes watched. This week corresponds to the release of the final 3 episodes of Season 2, Disney Plus show Bluey, and Netflix hit movie Nanya's rounded out the top 3. Pretty impressive stuff. And again, Bluey's just like kind of always there. Andor ratings have grown each week during season 2 run, growing from 721 minutes to 8. So that was week 2 then, yeah. 721 millions, 820. Oh, that was week 1. My God. So even week 1, it jumps into the charts with 721. Week 2, it climbed to 821. And then 830 in 3. And then due to a bunch of strong word of mouth and well-received blah, 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 its viewership hit this 931 million minutes watched on Disney+. That's pretty impressive, guys. It is also, by the way, this is really interesting. It has impacted the movie ratings for the week with the nearly 9-year-old Rogue One placing 9th in the top 10 movies streamed with 179 million minutes. Guys, that's movement, man. Like that, like you can still criticize Andor. You can still criticize this charting because, of course, there's all these asterisks and they sort of designed the show to do it. But here's the thing. If the game is to get to the top of the charts, then game is game. Like, however you get there, whatever, man. Like, they designed it. But here's the truth. This strategy would not have worked if 0 people gave a shit about Andor, right? So they take the interest people have in Andor already, which, by the way, here's another thing you absolutely have to give Andor credit for. It absolutely grew its audience, and I would say it grew a lot of its audience sort of organically off of word of mouth, right? Now, there was one of the reasons we know this is there was a Luminant article written around the time of Acolyte episode 4 and 5. And I remember this pretty vividly because I reported about this and I said, it looks like Acolyte is probably going to get canceled and it's like doing terribly. And I remember because so many people were like, it's only week 4 or 5. How could you possibly report that? By the way, I wasn't reporting it. I was, aggregating another report. The reason Luminant had said that was because of what they saw in the data, which was a super soft opening. And then a massive fucking decline. Like, after episode 3, dude, that show tanked so far that, like, it was just never, ever going to get up to the other shows. But there was a lesser reported aspect to that Luminant report, which I also found fascinating, and I completely ignored because I didn't want to talk about Andor doing well. The truth is, in that Luminant report about Acolyte, it also showed that Andor had surprisingly strong legs months after its release and had actually started to creep up towards Ahsoka's numbers, okay? So even then, I saw something in the data where I was like, damn, Andor's actually kind of cooking there, but you know what? I'm going to completely ignore that shit. Hopefully nobody watches season 2 and we can continue to clown on it. So, fast forward to Andor season 2, and that, of course, didn't happen. It built off of that sort of word-of-mouth reach, the growth. The show certainly built a name for itself, and I think just basically off of quality. I think it's 2 things. I think Star Wars is still a really strong brand, which is kind of surprising. We'll circle back to that in a moment because the Marvel Star Wars conversation is actually more interesting than we thought. But Star Wars as a brand is still pretty strong, and it seems like even, despite a lot of the damage done to the brand over the past couple of years, Star Wars is still a name that's going to turn a lot of heads. So if Andor was just a really competently written science fiction show with a big budget, I don't know that it would perform this way. I think of shows like even Westworld, which had a success but then eventually gets canceled. The Ridley Scott one, Raised by Wolves, Foundation, a lot of really expensive. I think the Russos have done some. I think there was another one done by Jonathan Nolan that also kind of tanked. Big elevated genre science fiction shows have been tried a lot over the past couple of years. I don't know that Andor would be able to do what it is doing without that Star Wars name. The Star Wars name is still enough to turn a lot of casual heads and get people interested. But you also have to give credit that the show it's so competently made, and it's obviously something that people enjoy and they're resonating with. So you couple those 2 things together, and it kind of looks like, despite the slow start, you eventually get to a place, and yeah, you have to fudge the numbers a little bit, but you eventually get to a place where I mean, it kind of pains me to say this a little bit, but I just have to be honest. Kathy seems to have been right with the strategy here. You know what I mean? And I think that essentially her strategy was, we know Star Wars is this big, massive brand, and we think we can do some elevated genre, or we can bring in like really good writers and filmmakers into the Star Wars world and provide a version of Star Wars that appeals to a different, either like portion of the audience or just a different kind of person, right? And again, despite all the caveats, despite the asterisks and all of that, I think you have to label this a massive fucking success. I mean, in and of itself, getting to #1 on the streaming charts is crazy. I will say, though, that when I went into research, because I was like, yo, when's the last time this shit happened? Like, what, is this even possible? It might surprise you to learn that Mandalorian Season 2 hit #1 on charts. It might surprise you that the movie Soul hit #1 on these charts. It might surprise you, and it did surprise me, that Falcon and the Winter Soldier hit #1 on these charts. Now, I think the truth is the streaming game has just changed a lot. These were all in 2020 or 2021. And so back then, everybody was locked down and there wasn't a lot of competition, right? There was not a lot of streaming competition. Paramount Plus didn't even exist. And they were putting out stuff. Apple TV was like very, very small. HBO Max, Discover, all these things are like really, really low. So it's not the same thing. I think charting these days, especially for a Star Wars show on Disney Plus, that's a really big deal, man. Like, that is a really big deal in today's climate. It's not necessarily novel because, again, these other shows did hit that mark. But I think given the context of the last couple of years, it's a big deal, right? So it's impressive. And I got to say something else, too. I think all of this bodes well for the future of the show and its viewership overall on the platform. Again, a lot of the Andor people, the supporters of Andor, would get so mad at me when I would talk about Andor and its bad numbers, okay? And I wonder if those people can appreciate that all the good things now that are happening for the show are because of numbers. And, like, social proof really matters. So I know we get into this discussion, and it's just like some people get kind of butthurt about it, but here's the reality. Andor succeeding is going to make more people willing to check it out. I mean, it's already happening. I mean, Theory, is checking it out. I'm probably going to check it out now. A lot of other people that might have been on the fence or maybe heard bad things about it, all of a sudden, they're basically, the narrative is season 2 is incredible. Episode 7 to episode 12 of Andor season 2 might be some of the best Star Wars ever. That narrative is holding strong in the zeitgeist. It is forcing people to be more open to checking Andor out. And I do think Andor will get very good viewership for this entire fucking year. And there might be a thing where, because I think they did this before, either on Nielsen, maybe Nielsen just started doing this, or maybe the studios do this, but they'll release data on what their overall year looked like. And this was like, I remember some pretty interesting stats, like 11% of Disney Plus viewership in 2024 within the first quarter went to Bad Batch Season 3 or something like that. And I was like, that's fucking mind-blowing. Like, what that means is, like, Bad Batch 3 never charted. But what it means is, like, just people got to it over time enough to, like, make it a pretty sizable chunk of the overall viewership on the app. I wonder what Andor will look like by the end of the year, but Andor is going to be big, man. Like, this will be a big chunk of the overall traffic and minutes watched on this entire app. And so, look, if you're a person like me that kind of, let's just be real. I don't like Andor. I rejected a Star Wars. I didn't like it. I don't like the idea of Star Wars changing to, like, become more commercially viable. Like, that feels like suit behavior to me. And I think a lot of people are just ignoring that fact because they happen to like the direction it's taking. And it's like, that's a weird conversation because it's like, are we talking about artistic integrity here? Or are we like, no, I think commercial art can be fine if it's to my liking. And I don't necessarily care about the creator, the person that started it, whatever, right? So that's where I'm at with Andor. But let's be real. This is a win for all the people not like me. all the people that love Andor, all the people that want Star Wars to evolve into something more mature or to be able to provide content that's a little bit more sophisticated, this is absolutely a win for those people. It's absolutely a win for Kathleen Kennedy, and she's going to start popping her head up more and more. You know, for a while, we haven't actually seen Kathleen Kennedy on a lot of stages. Bob Iger barely talks about her. You know what I mean? The reality is that might change now. And that's how Hollywood works, too. That's how business works, too. You grab a couple of wins, all of a sudden your cachet goes up. You can show your face around town a little bit more. You're going to see more of Kathleen Kennedy now. That is absolutely going to happen. So that is... That's kind of the way that I view it. Now, there's a couple of things that I actually am positive on this. Like, you know, like here's the first thing I'll say, you know, and this is something that Aaliyah always brings up to me. And it's nice, you know, because I think she just literally cares about my mental health, and she knows like I'm being very chill about this, but like I can't fucking believe this is happening. Okay, so what Aaliyah always brings up to me is that Kathy, has been looking for a win for a long time. Okay. She's been playing this game of like, will she, won't she? You know, she's going to retire. I'll die making movies. You know what I mean? Like the sort of back and forth on this whole situation. And the truth is she's looking for a win, man. She's looking for a win. She wants to go out on a dub. Kathy, this is it, man. This is a dub that is undeniable. I hate your ass. And I would fucking love to report the demise of your strategy. And I have to give you a lot of credit. This worked. I can't fucking believe it, but it worked. This is a massive W. So please, for the love of God, take this W and fuck off. Like, go away. You did it, okay? And forever, any stupid person on the internet that wants to argue the merits of Kathleen Kennedy, they don't have to go all the way back to fucking E.T. now. Okay? They can go to Andor. Fine. Fine. Take the dub. And please get out of my face. So that's kind of a positive thing, okay? It's also possible, guys, okay? And I'm gonna try to be nice here, okay? I'm gonna try to be nice. I do think I should watch the show, at least episode 7 to 12. Okay? I should at least try and see if it really is that great. And maybe there's some stuff in there that I actually do enjoy. Maybe there's a couple issues I take with it or whatever, you know. I'm pretty particular about my Star Wars, you know. But, you know, maybe there is a way for this genre to adjust slightly to, you know, modern times, you know, modern audiences, and the sensibilities of all these motherfuckers. And perhaps if there was somebody that was just a little bit more into Star Wars, like, you know, my eyes kind of look to Sean Levy right now. You know, like I really like Sean Levy. I was a little surprised when I went back on Nerd Theory and talked about Sean Levy, like just how much Dash and Wave were like very against Levy. And I get it because Levy is, you know, commercial. Deadpool and Wolverine feels a little bit like slop, to be honest, for most people. Like us Marvel fans, we loved it. But a lot of people are like, that's kind of like slop. And so I think there's a lot of questions of like, you get Ryan Gosling, you get the Deadpool director, and now you're making Star Wars. It's like, yeah, of course. That feels a little, I understand. I understand where people are concerned. However, I am not concerned. I actually think he's super competent. I think Deadpool and Wolverine might be the weakest film in his library. And I just really think the dude does spectacle, family, and heart really well. And I'm also really fascinated by why he chose Star Wars. This guy could have done anything, dude. Deadpool and Wolverine is such a smash fucking hit. He could have done anything. There were rumors he might have got Avengers, bro. He decided to do Star Wars. So that's kind of intriguing to me. But I'm saying all that to say, like, I look at Levy and I look at the possibility of, like, his Star Wars film. And I'm like, okay, maybe there is room for just a little bit of a more mature take, like a little bit more of a visceral, real, like, dare I say, postmodern kind of a vibe that would fit within this fantasy world. Like, I don't know. I like Rogue One, but I felt like Rogue One had those mythic elements, and I feel like it was grounded in, like, the myth of the Force. So perhaps even if I have to sort of reluctantly come along and I have to be that grumpy guy that's like, it's not George Lucas Star Wars, you know? maybe it's still okay for Star Wars to evolve and change and to bring in other competent filmmakers, and maybe like the next version of this will be better, you know, or maybe I would like it more, right? Because I really just don't like what Gilroy was trying to do. But maybe there's a version of it that I can't. Now, last thing I want to say on this, because we've almost been yapping for 20 minutes here. It's going to end up being a really long clip. Last thing I want to say is game on Andor. And what I mean by that is this is the game. You did this. This is the number. It's quite the achievement. And for now, you are king in the castle. But Ahsoka Season 1 was pulling similar numbers without a first season to back it up. And without multiple episodes a week dropping to boost those numbers. So, game on. And we are going to see what happens with Ahsoka Season 2. And if Ahsoka Season 2 outdoes Andor Season 2, I'm going to be the most insufferable, annoying, fucking Star Wars fan you've ever seen in your life. And by the way, Nerd Theory should be fully operational by then. And so I will blast out into the airwaves the fact that Dave Filoni just shit all over Tony Gilroy. We'll see. We'll see. But game on, Andor. We'll see you next year or whenever the fuck Ahsoka Season 2 comes out. Let's go! Okay. Yeah, man. Okay, so before we move on, any thoughts, comments, questions, concerns here, guys? I know you guys are, you're all happy to see me have to admit defeat, but what do you think about this whole situation, man? MacMan says, did KK make a bunch of accounts to boost the Ansnor numbers? Maybe. If she did, it worked. Josh says, hope this is a success. KK was looking forward to retire. Absolutely. Absolutely, brother. RF Gaming Channel says, I was like you. Andor bored me at first. Gave it a shot. Season 2 dropped, and it sucked me in and sucked me off. Whoa, it's a family show. Get past the slow episodes, and you'll dig it. Okay, right on. Okay, right on, brother. Joshua says, I decided to watch Andor because Theory liked it. Wait a minute. But I thought Theory was like the most toxic, horrible fan ever. Wait, why? What is he doing getting people to watch Star Wars shows that they're on the fence about? This fucking guy. Justin says, still not Star Wars. Don't care. My man! Where's that? Wait. But how about Warhammer, though? Good for you Andor fans. Good to know Star Wars is going to continue to have an identity complex. Ooh, this dev doesn't save Star Wars. Star Wars is still cooked. Damn! Harsh words from Justin. Is he wrong, though? That's the question. I don't know. I kind of get what you're saying, man. But you also can't deny these numbers, brother. That's the thing. Is like, I'd be feeling a lot more comfortable if we weren't at 932. That's pretty wild. Vandal the Black says, Journal of the Wills is a concept from George regarding real people and the greatest events in the galaxy. Andor is just a part of that book. Sure, but it's like a part that was written by like a different author, and we're not sure if it's like a real one or not. But yeah, totally. Rossi says, Filoniverse. Hashtag nerd theory. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. We'll see. We'll see. Game on. Game on, Andor. Game on. And by the way, if you're like me and you know what Dave's cooking with Andor season or with Ahsoka season 2, whoo! It's gonna be real good. Oh, I think it's gonna light it up, man. I think it's gonna light it up. Yeah, we'll see. It's gonna be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Okay, should we talk a little bit about the Doomsday leaks here? The real question is, what will you do if Ahsoka Season 2 gets less viewership than Andor Season 2? I will probably buy some clown makeup and a clown mask, or maybe a clown nose. Maybe some balloons. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. All right, you guys want to talk about Andor? Or fuck, we just talked about Andor. Do you guys want to talk about Doomsday? Doomsday, doom, 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 doom. So, over the weekend, Alex Perez of the Cosmic Circus dropped a nice little Q&A over there. That's what they do. They drop these Q&As where they get a bunch of questions from their Discord, and they give some pretty interesting insight. Alex Perez, by the way, still one of the most reliable insiders in the game, has a pretty good track record. Doesn't get everything right, but has a pretty good track record. So, a couple of interesting things revealed in the Q&A for June over at the Cosmic Circus. Okay, so first I want to talk about Thor, how he enters this picture. Then we're going to talk about, we'll get there in a second. So, Thor joins Avengers in Doomsday as Gore's daughter warns of cosmic threat. What? A few major connections have been revealed for Gore's daughter, the character of Love, introduced in Thor, Love and Thunder, who is now raised by Chris Hemsworth Thor. By the way, that's his actual daughter. She will be the first to sense an incoming cosmic threat in Avengers Doomsday. According to insider Alex Perez, the Cosmic Circus, Hemsworth's Thor, who is raising Love, will be alerted to the cosmic threat through her connection to eternity, and he will join the Avengers. At the end of Love and Thunder, Gore uses his one wish from eternity to bring his daughter back to life. Reborn through eternity's power, she returns with cosmic abilities and glowing eyes. In a recent leak, it was revealed that Thor, Sam Wilson, Cap, Shang-Chi, blah, 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 are tasked with resolving the incursion between two worlds, including Monica Rambeau, and protecting Loki at the Citadel after discovering the TVA and Doom's plan. We went over that last week. Pretty crazy. Meanwhile, the rest of the team, John Walker, Ghost Red Guardian, remain on 616, blah, blah, blah. Also reported that in Doomsday, Alex reported, there will be an incursion between Earth 616 and Monica's Earth, where the X-Men reside. Okay. Dr. Doom still planning MCU main version of Doom after Secret Wars with a possible recasting through an in-universe explanation. Yeah, that's possible. And Secret Wars Doom creates idealized versions of the characters. That's a whole other thing. The MCU is considering the use of life rafts to escape Doom's Battleworld spell. Escape methods currently being discussed include researchers building life rafts using the quantum realm and fleeing to the void. So that's kind of interesting because it appears that they're referring to it as a Battleworld spell, which I think will be what he does, like, when he gets to Loki at the end of time, and it'll involve maybe the World Forge, maybe it's just magic, but this will be essentially a spell to create Battleworld. And there's discussion of life rafts being implemented, or the possibility of them using the quantum realm, or fleeing the void. So, just like in Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars, Battleworld's going to be created. The entire multiverse is going to be destroyed, supposedly. But there will be several groups of villains, potentially groups of heroes that escape this collapse through either life rafts, which were created by Reed Richards, maybe the quantum realm, maybe just going to the void itself. There's going to be ways that people are going to try to get out of this new universe creation thing. Now, going back to this stuff about Love, I find this to be kind of interesting. So, because of her connection to eternity, she's going to be aware of this coming cosmic threat. Well, that connects to me to a couple of interesting ideas. Number one, in the Jonathan Hickman Time Runs Out event, Eternity is destroyed by the Beyonders. Okay? The Beyonders slaughter and destroy Eternity so that then they can destroy the entire multiverse. Eternity is like a godlike being that has all of, like, the history of like the entire multiverse. Everything that ever was or will be is somehow imprinted on and represented within Eternity. So Eternity is kind of like a cosmic entity version of the entire multiverse. Okay, now, there's something really interesting about this concept of Eternity that's mentioned in the Quantumania movie. In Quantumania, there's a line where Kang the Conqueror says, "We will destroy eternity. I'll burn them out of time, destroy eternity." And I remember this even leaked out before the movie came out. I was like, that's fucking crazy. Because I kept thinking of like the Jonathan Hickman thing. And I was like, oh shit, like Kang wants to destroy eternity. Now, one of the reasons I think he wants to destroy eternity is because of the next thing that we're going to talk about, okay? And that is the loop. Okay, so now this also comes from that same article, Alex Perez, Cosmic Circus. Avengers Doomsday will center on 616 verse X-Men incursion. In a new updated Doomsday plot about the main incursion being revealed, in Doomsday we'll see the incursion between 616 and Earth 10005, where the X-Men reside. According to the insider, Alex Perez, the MCU is trapped in a multiversal loop, as explained in the Loki series. Try number 14,605 of He Who Remain trying to stop a multiversal war. With the Kang variants out of the picture, incursions caused by heroes, including Doc Strange, Spider-Man, Monica Rambeau, Reed Richards, are now the major threat. So he's talking about this loop, and he's talking about how the incursions, other incursions, will be addressed as well. Okay, now, to me, this is really interesting, and one of the reasons why is actually because way back in the day, man, and we're gonna have to kind of travel back in time here. Do any of you remember one of the very first scoops that we got about this film, which came from Paul from Heavy Spoilers? I'm talking before. This must have been. Oh man, it was so long ago. It was so long ago. Okay, and Paul had this really cool scoop about what was going on, and in his scoop, he said that essentially the MCU was on a loop. It was just on a loop, which of course is totally the whole thing at the end of Loki season 1, right, where they're talking about the loop. He's like, it doesn't matter what you do, I will reincarnate, and then, you know, variants, multiversal war, all that sort of stuff. One of the things that Paul said way back then was that technically the protagonist of the movie that was going to help the Avengers was going to be a variant of Kang, who was the new Kang, like going through the loop for the first time ever. The He Who Remains was the guy that we saw at the end of the whole loop. And so what we were going to see was a new version of Kang, first time through the loop, as he once again tried to prevent the multiversal war and stop the multiversal war. Okay? And I think a part of the loop, right, because there's been something within... It goes back to Quantumania a little bit, which again was like a terrible ass movie. Like I fucking hate that movie, but there is like a lot of lore for Kang in there and like a lot of setup for what he's potentially trying to do. So one of the things that was interesting in there was like Kang promises Janet her actual time with her daughter back. And the way that he says it to me implied that he wasn't going to go back and do a separate timeline. He wasn't going to go back and find a variant. No, he had the ability to go back and give her actual time back. And I always thought that had something to do with the quantum engine, the thing that he gets sucked into at the end of the film, which probably taps into the power of the beyond. And there was a similar concept in Marvel Comics with the cosmic cubes. So the cosmic cubes, at one time, I think they're just thought of as like just unbelievable magic boxes of unlimited power. Eventually, the cubes become pieces of the beyond, or the powers of the beyonders, that are just dropped into our world for whatever reason. One of them actually becomes sentient, and he becomes either the OG Beyonder or like one of the Beyonders is the sentient cosmic cube. This is the one that becomes Captain America, right? During the Secret Empire run, because it turns out that was actually a cosmic cube that became sentient that believed he was Captain America or something like that. I don't exactly remember how that went down, but I know that the cubes eventually get retconned to connect to the Beyond verse, to the Beyond energy. Okay. And so I find all of that to be really interesting and fascinating. But there's another element here that I think sets this up, and it actually goes all the way back to What If season 1. Now, What If for me as a show is like pretty lackluster, but I did like season 1. And I thought there was a lot of promise there, and particularly around the Doctor Strange episode. I think it was episode 5, where he's trying to save Rachel Palmer. Right. And he can't. He's doing everything he can to try to save her. But in that particular universe, she dies and there's nothing he can do. So he literally breaks his reality trying to change a fixed moment in time. And so you start. Oh, it's Christine Palmer. It's Rachel McAdams, Christine Palmer. Right. So he's trying to break this unbreakable thing within the universe. OK. And within the MCU, there are things like this, too, right? We've seen this kind of happen. And within the Spider-Verse films, they call it a canon event. Things that must happen. And if you don't do them, they break. Okay? And again, this feels like something that in Quantumania, Kang the Conqueror was trying to, like, rebel against. He wanted to, like, truly break the loop. So I think it's all the same thing. I think the reason the whole multiverse is on a loop is because of eternity. Like, I think ultimately eternity is the being that is keeping all of these fixed moments in time there. And I think that's why Kang in Quantumania wanted to destroy eternity. Because he wanted to truly be free of the confines of what this multiversal loop was supposed to be. Okay, so to me, it's like there's so much here, right? It's so much more than Alex just saying this. Again, this connects to what Paul said back in the day. It connects to the Loki show. It connects to a lot of the theories we had around Quantumania, et cetera, et cetera. So the question then becomes, well, what is Doom now? How does Doom enter the story within that? And what is happening now? Well, there's this really interesting comment here in the Alex Perez article. And in fact, let me just read this from you because it's kind of wild. It's a long answer, but it's kind of wild. I think it gives a lot of context here, okay? So he's asked about the incursions, like what's going on, okay? He says here, yes, absolutely. And get ready for the answer because it's a doozy. One of the main plot points of the entire Multiverse Saga, which has remained consistent from Marvel Parliament, remember I talked to you guys about Parliament, ever since Loki in 2021, is that the MCU and the multiverse in general is currently caught in an endless cycle or loop. Let me elaborate. Everything that He Who Remains said during the speech at the end of season 1 of Loki, and a bit more in season 2, is true. No matter what course of action our characters take, the ending will always remain the same. After the multiversal war with the Kang variant, He Who Remains will win using Alioth, build the TVA, which then leads to the story we all know as the MCU and the loop itself goes over and over again. This was supposed to be one of the big reveals of the Kang dynasty. And again, Paul talked about... Oh, you guys can't even see this shit. Sorry. Professional streamer here. Paul talked about this, right? They said the iteration of the TV show special presentation, anything that Marvel Studios rejected is just try 14,605,000 or so of He Who Remains' attempt to create a universe timeline in which the multiversal war doesn't happen, and which he could just rule over existence for forever. Now that Kang and his variants are officially out of the picture for the time being, this allows Marvel this plot point in a very probably different way than they originally intended. Initially, we would have seen Kang's variants cause havoc across time and space, disrupting the multiverse one incursion at a time. However, now the main reason revolves around the different heroes who have been interfering in the fabric of space-time. In Doomsday, the main incursion we'll see at first revolves around Earth 616 and the universe Monica is set in, where the X-Men are currently reside in. Other incursions will also be addressed, such as the one in No Way Home caused by Spider-Man and Doctor Strange, which again was going to be in those Spider-Verse movies. You can see how this all kind of works together. So that's kind of interesting. There's another moment here where he talks about idealized versions of Doom. Let me see if I can find this. So here he's talking about they're exploring ideas, Reed building the life rafts, the quantum realm to escape or using the void, talking about escaping Doom's Battleworld spell. It's really interesting. This is where he talks about eternity. Let's see here. Time runs out. I think Thor solo can't answer that, but he's meant to be with the Avengers, so he's going to go to the Avengers. Where's the thing with the idealized version? He's talking about him having the swords. Maybe it's up here. Damn, I really missed that shit, huh? Both characters, Secret Wars, concept of life raft, couple of ideas. All right, well, we're just going to have to look it over here because he does talk about the idea. Oh, those are the other leaks. So he talks about this idealized versions of the characters that Doom has. Where's this at here? Yeah, so he's talking about how they're going to have the swords for Nightcrawler, which is cool. Meanwhile, John Walker, blah, blah, blah. What? Is this in this one, maybe? Where's this idealized version thing? Okay, Secret Wars may create idealized versions of known characters. Okay, so that's like a small little kind of throwaway line that Alex has in there. Doctor Doom is still planned to be the MCU's main version with a possible recasting. In Secret Wars, Doom may create idealized versions of the known characters. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. Again, now speaking to the loop, right? Speaking to that concept within the scope of Secret Wars, it seems like Doom, and Alex has kind of hinted about at this before as well. Doom will see that the universe is false, the multiverse is false, and he's going to see that a lot of the versions of the characters were created, at least in part, by He Who Remains. And so He Who Remains kind of created them, crafted them. This is where my theory could come into play, right? Because if the Stark from the Sacred Timeline is actually a Doom variant that was raised as Stark, then yeah, Doom's going to be really fucking pissed about that. He's going to be like, yeah, you literally made me into a hero. Fuck you. But even if that's not what it is, Doom will still look at this world without Doctor Doom in it and be like, this shit is fucked. So Secret Wars is probably going to be like an idealized Doom version with idealized version of all the characters. Like he's going to try to just create the right version or whatever. So that'll be like fascinating to see because he'll probably grab up variants or whatever and like smash them all together onto Battleworld. But that's going to be really interesting. But here's like the main takeaway of this whole thing, right? Is it seems like a lot of the plot will likely revolve around the loop of the multiverse, eternity itself likely being destroyed, which then will show Thor that he needs to get to the Avengers. They're then going to be fighting. Doom is likely taking Franklin Richards, having the X-Men and the Avengers fight against each other with the ultimate goal of being to cast this massive spell in which he destroys the entire multiverse, creates one singular universe with the idealized versions of the characters, and that's just going to be the steady thing that he rules over. There's also mention within this article of how a lot of the heroes that we're going to see that fight against Doom in Secret Wars will leave either via an arc like they did in the Hickman story, or they'll go into the quantum realm, or perhaps they'll just go to the void themselves. And we already talked about how there might be this big crazy battle on the void, right, at the end of Doomsday, which is how you might get some of the Secret Wars flavor in that first movie, where he's there and he's like trying to get through Goliath, get to where Loki is and cast the spell. And you'll have all these characters, all these Marvel characters trying to stop him, and maybe, you know, his lieutenants or whatever. So, dude, it's getting pretty crazy, but this loop idea and the eternity idea with Thor, I think are really cool. And I think those are huge clues as to like what they're cooking. And it's kind of like how Marvel's going to take what they were setting up and they're just going to like slide some pieces around. I know Doom is not getting a proper setup. Like, I'm not here to say that Doom is getting a proper setup. I think Doomsday in a lot of ways is going to do the heavy lifting of that. But it's not the same thing as like there's no fucking plan. they had this plan. They know what the MCU multiverse is. They know what it is. And so, like, that could be just now kind of adjusted and navigated towards Doom and towards their new plan with Doom. So as all of us kind of, you know, follow the tea leaves, look out for the rumors and whatnot and try to figure out what's going on, this is a huge piece of the puzzle here. And I think we'll probably see some other rumors and stuff come out that sort of support this idea. And so I guess what I'm saying ultimately is it will not feel like this is coming out of nowhere. It still will feel like we kind of saw this coming and there were pieces, clues, signposts along the way. And I think it will, in that regard, feel a little bit more satisfying than people are anticipating. But we'll see. Like, we shall see. So that is the big old section on the Doomsday leaks. Would love to know what you think. What do you think about this, man? What do you think? I saw some people saying they can't kill Eternity. You can absolutely kill Eternity. Eternity is killed multiple times in comics. Eternity is killed during Eternity War, when the first Firmament... Well, actually, I don't know if he kills Eternity, actually, now that I think about it. He chains him up and, like, torments him. But does he actually kill Eternity? Now that I think about it, that's kind of... Maybe that you do have a point. And then the Beyonders absolutely destroy Eternity. The Beyonders do. He is the universe. Yeah, so there could be something to that. Like, I kind of see what you're saying a little bit there, Trev. And maybe it's like he can't be killed, but like, I guess the one thing that I'm thinking about is like, especially in Eternity War, I'm pretty sure they actually kill him. Like, I'm pretty sure they actually kill him. Because remember, in Eternity War, all of the space in between the universe, what I think is called the slip space, or maybe that's the DC version, the superflow, maybe I get these things confused, but I remember in Eternity War that gets destroyed, and it gets destroyed because Eternity is destroyed. So the entire multiverse just becomes one big universe of like soupy mess. It eventually gets reset, right? But this was when they had like Lifebringer, Galactus, and shit. Like, dude, like this is some crazy Donny Cates, like really, or no, is it Cates? No, it's not Cates. It's that's the bull that Rob loves. Ah, man, why am I blanking on his name right now? The Superflow is Al Ewing. Thank you. Yes. Ewing. This is all crazy Al Ewing stuff. And at the time, some of the stuff he was doing in this book technically contradicted other reshuffling of cosmic entities. Like Marvel, I don't know. It's a little messy, of course, you know, because it's comics and whatnot. But, yeah. I hope they can pull it off. The last few were bland. Yeah, no, I mean, they have to. They have to pull this off. And they're taking their time. And they're getting, they're spending a lot of money. You know, they're taking their time. They're spending some money. So it should be good. It's because you're not wearing your glasses? Yeah, I can't find them. Can't find the glasses. Yeah. Any other thoughts, comments, questions? What else is on your mind? Anything else about these rumors? I think it's cool, man. I'm excited to see where this all goes. I am excited. Man, please don't make me rewatch Thor 4. I won't make you do that. Marvel might try it, though. Can you see without your glasses? I can see okay. Some of the things I might have to squint for. We'll see. We'll see what happens. He gets his hair at Halloween Spirit. Are you talking shit on my hair right now? Are you talking shit on my hair right now, motherfucker? Holy. Dude, I'm so excited for this next year. Yeah. It's going to be cool. A lot of fun stuff coming. Josh, are you going to do a Twitch live stream for Andor last 3 episodes? Hell no. Who do you got International Fight Week? I haven't even looked at the card. Is that this week? That's crazy. That's really crazy. I don't want to see Doom in the MCU for the first time and me thinking Tony Stark. I want to see Doom and think that's Victor Von Doom. Well, I mean, here's the thing, Zach. Who's to say you won't have that feeling? Who's to say you won't have that feeling? And what if you do have that feeling? Do you think Doom is going to hook up with Wanda? God, I hope so. I hope so. You heard Emma Frost is going to be in Doomsday? I heard people talking about that. Where's that come from? Who said that? Was it a reliable person? Do you think Doom will need to kill Love, representing eternity, to be able to break the cycle? And that's how Thor dies? Ooh, wouldn't that be crazy? That would suck, huh? The Beyonder stuff seems too abstract. Yeah, but I mean, to be honest, like, there's a lot of stuff that is crazy about it. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of shit that's crazy, for sure. So, you know, on the one hand, sure, like, is that kind of hard to explain? But, you know, how also, isn't it hard to explain, like, multiple universes, like, literal variants of people that we've already met and shit? So, yeah, like, it's still pretty crazy. Yeah. Grace hates it. She always points it looks like Tony PTSD. Yeah, but you know, like, the thing about that is the fact that it irritates Grace is actually just a dub. Like, it just makes it more appealing to me. So, you know, too bad, so sad. Dar Boyd with a 10 spot says, what do you think your take would be on Ahsoka versus Andor if Ahsoka Season 2 drops and the release schedule is designed not to chart? For me, it would feel like intentionally sabotaging Filoni. Yeah, a little bit, maybe. But what if it does that and it still crushes? You know what I mean? Like, what if they do that and it still beats Andor? Watch those wrist rockets. Sadly, had to put my 13-year-old cat away yesterday. She would watch all the streams with me, so today was tough. Much love to everyone. Ah, man, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that. That's tough, man. Pets, it's unfortunate. They age in such a way. You know what the pet thing is? It's like if you've ever played Dungeons and Dragons, there's like a lot of lore surrounding how elves usually won't befriend humans. And a big part of why is like to an elf, the life of a human is like so fleeting that it's like, why would you invest in a friendship of somebody that's going to be around for like a season in your life? You know? But it's tough, man, because, yeah, we all love our pets, you know, except for me. I don't really, you know, mine could go. But in all seriousness, we love our pets. We're probably all going to have to say goodbye to them someday. So, kind of a bummer, man. Kind of a bummer. Did we talk about Gunn yet? No, we didn't. Should we talk about Gunn? Should we talk about James Gunn? Let me see here. The only other thing I wanted to talk about, guys, was the Fantastic Four Superman numbers, but I guess we could save that and just go over the James Gunn news. So I know he dropped a bunch of I know there was that article that just came out in the Rolling Stone, and so there's a ton of comments out there from James about like future DCU stuff. Is this stuff we should be talking about? Is this what you guys want to know about? JJ Lemon, member for 54 months, says, I'm about to board a plane with my family for 2 weeks in Japan. What? 2 weeks in Japan? Hell yeah, brother. Love y'all nerds. Unity, hashtag banging the homies. Hell yeah. Noah says, 1 year, let's go. Easily the best community out there. Happy to see you grow and make so many great connections in the process. Much love, sir. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, we're doing well. We're doing pretty well over here. You know, it's, you know, I don't even fully understand it, but, you know, we've been having good success and a lot of growth and a lot of cool opportunities. You know, it actually do you guys ever listen to Action Bronson? Oh, yeah, I did want to talk about Vision Quest. Let's talk about Vision Quest. Okay? You guys ever listen to Action Bronson at all? So there's a line in an Action Bronson song that I relate to quite a bit, where he says something like, I know the thought of me succeeding makes a lot of people nauseous, but still, I'm on the back of the boat taking pictures with the starfish. And that's how I feel about it a little bit, you know? Like, I am absolutely certain that it makes a lot of people completely sick that, like, a whole bunch of people want to hear what my dumbass has to say, or that I have any kind of platform or success or internet fame in any way at all. But get fucked, because I do. And we're just getting started, baby. So, he fell off after Ghostface? Jeez. I still think he's great. Baltimore's finest, you know what I mean? All right, let's get into this, man. Let's talk a little bit about James Gunn and this Superman movie. Okay, so the way we're going to do this is there was just a big article in Rolling Stone. It's too long, man. I don't want to scroll through that whole article. However, there are a lot of comments made by James Gunn in that article that are popping up and that people are interested in talking about, okay? So we'll just kind of scroll through here, find a couple of these comments, and we'll talk about them. This one here is kind of interesting. Let me see if I can get this pulled up for you. This one's kind of interesting. James Gunn calls out people who say the Batman 2 is canceled. It's not canceled. We don't have a script. Matt's slow. Let him take his time. Let him do what he's doing. God, people are mean. Let him do his thing, man. Huh. Okay, now that's interesting. Now, why is this interesting, right? Well, partially because a whole bunch of people don't think Gunn wants Batman to be out there. And to be honest with you, dude, you just think about it logically, why would he? You know what I mean? Like, frankly, if he does want it to come out, he's kind of a bad president. He's kind of bad at understanding, like, fucking audience and brand and shit, right? Which is why he's co-president, not full president. But still, like, if you just think about this from a business perspective, if this Batman is not going to be the DCU Batman, then he shouldn't want this shit to come out, okay? But here's the thing. We've heard for a long time that not only does Gunn want Batman to come out, but he wants this guy to be his Batman. It kind of seems like that's not going to happen. Matt Reeves is apparently the person that is holding all of that up. Now, we don't know for sure. There's still like a lot of questions about this. Maybe this could still happen. A lot of interesting things. But according to what Gunn just said, the movie's not canceled. He says they don't have a script. He says Matt is slow. He says people are mean. Just let him do his thing. Now, the weird thing about that is we know that other people have read this script. Okay? This has been reported by very good reporters. And the truth is, multiple people have read the Batman 2 script. Okay? One of those people randomly is Andy Serkis. And Andy Serkis talked about this at a Comic-Con. Okay? Pattinson himself has read the script. The truth is, DeLuca and Abdi have probably read this script, but James Gunn has not. Okay? Now, we've talked about this before, but when Matt Reeves signed his contract, it was not with DC Studios because DC Studios did not exist. DC Studios did not exist. And so, therefore, Matt Reeves has a contract with Warner Brothers, and therefore the purview of his film is actually DeLuca and Abdi. It is not James Gunn and Peter Safran. Okay? So this is like kind of one of those weird things because we've sort of felt this like push, this ebb and flow, this weirdness with this exact project. Why aren't they making more Penguin? All of these sort of things. Like, why was the Penguin guy going to be Sergeant Rock? Like, there's just a lot of weird stuff going on where it really does feel like there's a bit of Game of Thrones going on here, a bit of power play kind of stuff. But according to the president of DC Studios, Batman 2 is not canceled. That is the line. That's the company line, at least from right now. So I guess we'll see. Maybe this makes some people confident. Maybe this confuses some people. Not really sure. But that's absolutely one of the things that is coming out of this Rolling Stone article. Here's another thing Batman related that I actually think is dope as hell, okay? So check this out. James Gunn says Batman is his biggest issue in developing all of the DCU right now. He says, I'm not writing Batman, but I'm working with the writer of Batman and trying to get it right. Our two priorities are finishing our Wonder Woman and our Batman scripts. Okay, so massive fucking W. First of all, I am genuinely elated that he is not writing the Batman. Okay. And I mean, it should be absolutely obvious why, right? But let me just break it down for you. Gunn is not the right guy for Batman. Frankly, I don't even think he's the right guy for Superman, but he has spoken to how he adjusted even his own sensibilities for Superman. A lot of reporting that Warner Brothers themselves clamped down on some of the stuff that even he was trying to, get away with or whatever. So I think you are going to get a sort of distilled, clean version of Gunn with Superman, but it's still like it doesn't like feel perfect for me. But Superman looks really good. Like, I want to be clear here. I am excited about the Superman movie, genuinely, and I think I'm excited about the DCU. But I was getting a little uncomfortable with this idea of like Gunn's just going to do all the scripts. Again, maybe it makes sense to do the first one, right? Like, maybe it makes sense for him to do the first one. As the president, you want to set the tone. And maybe if Feige like actually was a director, maybe Feige would do this too. Because for all intents and purposes, Feige is the director of at least some of those Marvel movies. Like, you know it, I know it. He gets in there and they make shit happen, right? So I think in a way, like, I could kind of deal with Gunn doing Superman because, you're launching the thing. Who do you trust? You want to set the tone. Totally get it. But if this was going to be the thing where, like, now James Gunn's Wonder Woman, now James Gunn's Batman, then I was going to be like, bro, what the fuck? Like, that just seems like a terrible idea. That's a terrible idea. And plus, like, how is he supposed to actually be the president if he's writing all this shit? Right? So, oh my God, is it good to hear that he is not writing the Batman? And as far as working closely with the Batman writer, totally get it. That makes perfect sense to me. Again, you're the president. You want to make sure it's totally what you want. Totally understand it. It's just not your wheelhouse. Let somebody else cook that is good within that wheelhouse. Now, here's the other thing that's kind of unfortunate, though. He did not say he's not doing Wonder Woman. Okay? So technically, this is one of those things where if you really analyze this answer closely, I think it technically leaves the door open for James Gunn writing Wonder Woman. And let me just say this. If there was ever a character that Gunn was not qualified to write, it's Batman. But that's even more the case for Wonder Woman. There is not a world nor version of a world in all of the multiverse where James spiky white-haired Gooner Gunn should be writing Wonder Woman. Please, let's be real. Please be serious. That cannot happen. Okay? Like, with respect, I'd rather him do Batman because he's still not right for it, but Batman's so archetypically, like, established that you could probably, like, who can you really fuck Batman up? You know what I mean? But Wonder Woman, my God, don't do it. Don't you do it. Holy shit. You thought that Joss Whedon shit was bad? Oh my God. She's going to have an OnlyFans. She's going to have a fucking OnlyFans. Like, I'm telling you, like, this is going to go a really bad way, bro. This is going to go a really bad way. So please, for the love of God, do not let James Gunn direct Wonder Woman. Holy shit. And technically he doesn't say that, but I'm just kind of reading in between the lines here, and I'm like, what? Because remember, here's the uncomfortable truth. Gunn did say he's working on something. He did say he's working on something that's not exactly a sequel to Superman. Could be World's Finest. Could be the Wonder Woman movie. And bro, holy shit. We're going, this is stranger danger This is not good. It's It's okay? So that's kind of an interesting one. Let me see. There's a couple other updates here. And chat, what else did he say? Is there other stuff that's making news? Let me know. Let me see here. He won't be a funny, campy Batman. Thinks Wonder Woman has been easier to adapt because it's every single Batman story has been told across media. It's still called The Brave and the Bold. That's good. Yeah. He's okay. So Gunn did, to his credit, kind of speak up for Marvel and kind of say that it wasn't the MCU's fault. He says the output was corporate, and I don't even know if it was their fault. It wasn't fair. It wasn't right. He's sort of speaking to what happened with, yeah, with all of that. That's kind of interesting. Let's see. Somebody killed them. Oh, okay. This one's kind of interesting. Really curious what you nerds think about this one. Okay. So here he says, Disney this killed them. Don't even know if it's really their fault. Yeah, he's okay. That's not. I thought he was talking about actually killing people, because he did say that once you die in the DCU, you're dead forever, which I thought was interesting. See if I can find that. Corporate mandate that forced Marvel Studios. It wasn't their fault. It wasn't fair. It killed them. Yeah. I mean, you guys probably agree with that. Here's, oh my God, Gunn. Gunn. Let me see here. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so he's talking about making the budget back, kind of implying that, like, they don't really need to make money, which I think is true, actually. We talked about that. Man. I feel like there's a couple other things we're missing here. Like, there was definitely something else he said. Chat, I'm having trouble, like, sifting through this. What's the other shit he said? There's... Oh, here it is. Okay, here it is. Yeah, let's pull this up. Here's the other one. Okay, so he says here, we just killed a project. Everybody wanted to make the movie. It was greenlit, ready to go. The screenplay wasn't ready, and I couldn't do a movie where the screenplay's not good. Now, this, a lot of people are taking this to mean he is confirming that Sergeant Rock has been canceled. And I don't know that that's like 100% true, but this is not the first time that he's used this scripting excuse. As far as like why, with all the release projects that they announced, why are some of them not happening, right? Why are they changing it? He's continuing to say that it is the scripting. And people think this is the Sergeant Rock movie because it had one writer at one time. It just got a total rewrite. I suppose this could be Clayface, because Clayface also seemingly lost Flanagan and had a different writer come on. So we'll see how all that goes. But I also think it's interesting that Gunn says Batman and Wonder Woman are the highest priority in the scripting department. I personally think this is a bit like what's going on with Disney and Marvel, where Bob Iger is trying to get Feige to go spectacle, big brands, and that seems to be what works these days. And Feige, you know, via like Thunderbolts and even Captain America, wants to tell these like more intimate, you know, sort of smaller stories. And it might be the case that either Safran or maybe some people at Warner Brothers or whatever, these people are like, nah, we cannot do these little micro comic book movie things anymore. Like, that's not going to fly. So we need to go big. We need to go spectacle. And if I was Zaslav, like, I'll be saying the same thing. I'd be like, where's Wonder Woman? Where's Batman? Like, what the hell? And especially considering the big delay for the Batman Part 2. Like, dude, yeah, this is your opportunity. Like, get your Batman out there. So I think those are all of the big ones, guys. Is there anything else crazy that's coming out of this James Gunn Rolling Stone article? I think those are the big ones. All Might says, any credible rumors to the Wonder Woman actress? No, not that we've seen. I've seen a few names floating around who they pick kind of hint at the tone of the movie. Yeah, I haven't seen anything from reliable people. I'm not like super checked in on it, to be honest. But I haven't seen like Daniel or Shine or anybody like talking about this, so yeah, I don't know. Yo, brother, says Toxic. What up, dude? 37 months. You think James Gunn and DC kind of stalling with the Batman stuff because he will be in Superman after credit scene? I think that would be very smart. I don't know that that's what it's going to be. That would be cool. It's possible he has a Batman. It's possible he's working on a World's Finest or something, right? So maybe. But, yeah, nothing concrete there. Spanny says, keep it up. Much love. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thank you. What? You guys got some wild picks. The Bix actress? Yeah, I think she'd be good. Talk about his comments on the Snyder cult. Well, I think he commented on, there was like a post that was like somebody was trying to get people to boycott it or whatever, and he was very dismissive of it. I think that's probably what you're referring to. Millie Brady? Who the hell is Millie Brady? Dario Arjona? I don't know who any of these people are, man. I don't know who any of these people are. Wasn't Skeletor the Joker already twice? Yes. RDJ as Wonder Woman? That's a bold choice. Bold choice, but I think he could do it. Can we talk about Spaceballs 2? Let's watch the trailer or the teaser. Unfortunately, I think I'll get dinged for that, so I'm not going to do it. But it looks cool. How excited are you for the Mr. Miracle adaptation? I don't know, man. I mean, I love that book, but an animated adaptation? I don't know. I'm not sold on it, to be honest. I'm not sold on it. So we're at the mercy of Matt Reeves before Brave and the Bold can release. I don't know. They need to figure that out. If that's really what's going on, they need to figure that out, bro. That's crazy town. Like, you cannot actually just have... like, you can just not have Batman because you've got, like, a different Batman that's not Batmaning? Like, come on, man. I'm glad Pattinson is sticking around, though. Yeah, it seems like he is, right? It seems like he is. I ain't gonna lie. Superman looks like shite. I mean, I don't think so. I think it looks really good. I think it looks really good and really cool, man. They had a little teaser trailer, like a 30-second thing, before the Dragon movie. Oh, it was cool, man. I think Superman's going to be a big old hit. I think it's going to be a big old hit. Yeah. F1 looks awesome. Yeah, people are excited about it. You love the Dragon movie or not? I had a really good time with the movie. To me, it still felt a little unfulfilled, but it was really good. It hits in the big moments. It hits when it matters and shit. So, yeah, it was good. And then the visual effects were really cool. The ending with, like, the big old dragon, that was really cool. So, yeah, I liked it a lot. I think that movie's crushing. I think it's doing really well. Seeing Superman July 8th? Me too, man. Me too. Josh wanted Hot D. I did want a little Hot D. But they're not really interested in doing that. It's a kid's movie, kind of through and through. They were like, nah, it's a kid's movie. Lizzo for Wonder Woman. I mean, she is losing weight. She is losing weight, so there you go. I was just thinking about the burn marks on Superman eyes. Not a fan. Yeah, we'll see how that plays. I know a lot of people are thinking that's from his optic blast or his laser eyes. I don't think so, dude. I think that's from getting his ass beat. I mean, unless I'm crazy. Kind of hope that's not from his eye beams. That'd be kind of lame. That'd be kind of lame. Chillin says, sneaking into the tower on lunch. So happy Gunn isn't writing Batman. Me too, man. Ready to see how July goes. Also, Andor still isn't Star Wars. Said what I said. Hey, I like that energy. I like that energy. Okay, should we talk a little bit about... Let's talk about Vision Quest, okay? Because this is kind of wild. and then we'll talk a little bit about box office tracking, and then we'll get on out of here, okay? So, oh, I gotta end. Oh, shit. I was recording for a long time on that one. Okay, so let's talk a little bit here, guys, about Vision Quest. And also, too, before we get into the Vision Quest stuff, I want to say that the Iron Heart trailers have actually been kind of cool lately. And especially the magic, dude. Like, the way they have all the runes and the red magic with the armor, it's kind of cool. And I can't believe that I'm saying this, but, I said I was on a big Marvel, Disney Plus break. And frankly, like, I still feel like going on that break. But I don't know if, like, I'm just, like, the biggest sucker in the world, or if I'm just, like, that big of a Marvel fan. But even just a couple little interesting things kind of have me, they've piqued my interest. And then again, if you think about it, I'm one of the 12 people that watched Daredevil bored again for the whole season. I mean, I could tell because it didn't chart once. Nobody watched that fucking show. Couldn't even get to the 10th spot with 385 million minutes. Watches the goddamn fucking bottom. Holy shit. Yeah, so it's the den of suckers over here. So I just wanted to say, man, even Ironheart is interesting me a little bit. I don't know, maybe I'll watch some of it and not tell you guys about it. You hated Agatha before it came out? That's not true. Prove it. That's not true. Show me the tape. Okay, anyways, let's talk about this because it's kind of wild. Spoiler warning for the Vision show. Okay. Vision Quest. New plot details reveal White Vision finds human Ultron in Madripoor. Marvel Studios' new idea to cut VFX costs for the Vision Quest series. New plot details Vision Quest reveal that Ultron, who last appeared in Age of Ultron, will return in human form? What? According to insider Daniel Rickman, in his latest Patreon post, Vision Quest will follow White Vision as he searches for the White Black Panther and his memories of humanity. He travels to Madripoor, where he finds Ultron in human form, and from there, the story continues. Wow. So wait a minute. Wait a minute. Say what? So, in the Vision show, White Vision is going to be trying to get back his memories, trying to kind of get back his humanity, learn about who he was, what he is, and he's going to go to Madripoor. It's kind of interesting. And in Madripoor, he's going to run into Ultron in human form. What? So, how? Yeah, James Spader, 100%. So how is this possible? Okay. Is this some kind of humanoid body that Ultron created for himself? Because remember, Vision is the body that Ultron was making for himself. Okay, that's supposed to be his body. So this is weird. Is this Ultron in a android, like a sophisticated android body that looks human? Is this somehow Ultron's brainwaves in an actual human body? Because that actually happens, by the way. Hank Pym literally becomes Ultron. Okay? I don't even remember all the specifics here, but I remember that actual Hank Pym, organic Hank Pym, becomes Ultron. Okay? And remember, too, that in the comics, the brainwaves that create Ultron come from Simon. They come from Wonder Man. And in fact, there's this really fucked up thing that happens in the comics where, so Wonder Man's brainwaves get used to make Ultron, right? Am I mixing this up? No, I think this is what it is. I think it's... No, it's Vision. Fuck, it's Vision. Wonder Man's brain becomes Vision. Sorry, I mixed that up, okay? Now, check this out. This is kind of funny. There was a moment in comics where Simon's brain gets put into Vision, okay? And then Simon has something happen and he loses his mind. And then Wanda's like, Vision, you need to let us grab up your brainwaves to bring back Simon. And Vision says, fuck no. And it's like this really twisted, like crazy love triangle thing that happens. It's really wild. So all of a sudden, it's like, what are we doing here? What's going on? Are these Doom bots? Like, is this going to be a Doom bot situation? Because that's another element here is like, so Dr. Doom creates Doom bots that are essentially as powerful as Dr. Doom, and a lot of them even think they are Dr. Doom. Okay? So, is that what's going on? Like, did Ultron find a Doom bot and infiltrate one, and now Ultron's in a Doom bot body or something? Like, this is weird. This is weird, man. And although it probably doesn't connect in any significant way to like Doom and the multiverse and all that sort of stuff, just on its own, it's trippy enough. It's sort of interesting science fiction enough that like I might be down. And here's the other thing. This is supposed to be also about Tommy. Tommy's supposed to be in this thing. Okay? So add in Tommy, who was literally a soul created by his mom. Vision's his dad in some way. Like, it doesn't really make sense, right? And then his soul is ripped out and put into a new body by his brother during the Agatha show. So now that kid dealing with identity crisis, dealing with having his soul put into another body, is now going to be with his android dad. And then we're in Madripoor and we meet Ultron in a human body? Like, this is starting to get crazy, dude. This is starting to get crazy. And I will say this too. I am starting to hear some pretty crazy things about this show, like in a positive way. And I can't believe that we're on this ride again. The carousel goes round and round. Somehow, some way, just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in. Okay? But the thing is, man, oh, Marvel, you better fucking deliver. Because here's the truth. The Vision show's in a unique position. The Vision show is the last show that they're actually going to do a big Avengers. According to Jeff Steiner, this is the last show where they're going to take a big Marvel character, a premier Marvel character, and put them into a big Disney Plus show. You're not going to get any more Avengers shows. You're not going to get, like, the shows are going to be truly side category stuff, okay? And so they kind of have to go hard in the show. And yet they're also at a place where, like, people are kind of over their shows. They probably shouldn't spend $1 bajillion on it, you know? But what they're cooking with Vision and the kids is apparently very important to Doomsday and potentially the multiversal saga, or the mutant saga after all of this, because it's going to involve these very powerful mutant kids. Right? So, bro, I don't know what I expected, but to me, this is actually starting to intrigue me a little bit. This is kind of interesting. Spader's great, of course. What's the deal with this? I'm very curious. And the theme, like, I can kind of see how the theme here of what is identity, what is actually being alive, like what, you know, they're kind of playing with some really interesting elements here. That could actually be cool. So I don't know, man. I mean, I'm almost reluctant to say it. Like, I almost don't want to admit it. Like, maybe I shouldn't clip this out. Like, we could just talk about it ourselves. And we can just be like, hey, man, hey, guys, are we still watching Disney Plus Marvel shows? I know we said we weren't going to, but, like, are we going to watch some of this shit? I don't know, man. I might check it out. I might even watch Ironheart, man. Some of the magic shit looks cool, man. Fuck! I'm an easy mark. I'm an easy mark. Okay? You got me, Marvel. I just like my nerdy shit. Okay? So maybe I'll check it out, and maybe it has a chance to be really good. We shall see. We shall see. Anyways, any thoughts about this, guys? Any questions, comments, concerns? What do you think? What do you think? I'm watching Ironheart, and I'm tired of saying I'm not. Oh, no, Randon. Chat, ban Josh. Yeah, totally. Den of Shills, 100%. Toesgate Secret Wars was horrible. Every project is a new project with a different creator. True. Sashin says, oh, so we're doing watch parties again? Nope. Nerd Avengers for life, though. Appreciate you, bruh. I think this is why Marvel is fine. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I mean, you might have a point. Yeah. We'll see, huh? As long as these shows are well written, I'm happy. Yeah, I mean, I kind of think the direction the shows need to go in is just being really good themselves. Really good themselves. Don't focus as much on connectivity, but just really flesh out an individual element or story or character. And if they can do that and yet still make it like interesting and appealing, it'll probably be enough for, you know, fans like us to check out. Maybe occasionally the shows will be really, really good. I do think it's a good strategy to just focus the majority of the saga storytelling in the films, right? Because they've sort of, and a lot of this is just hard lessons they had to learn in the past 4 years. But like it is, Thunderbolts kind of proves that it's a bad idea to build up some of your most important characters on Disney Plus. Like it just proves that that's probably not a smart idea, you know? But if Thunderbolts was a show, it might have been all right. You know, it's the fact that it is supposed to be this really important piece of the movie story that is holding it back. That's why it is considered a failure. So, you know, we talk a lot about Marvel, they're changing their adjustments, and I think they're, you know, right now the focus is like, yes, they do have a bunch more projects in 2025. I'm certain that they've tried to make them as good as they possibly can be. Maybe some of them will be bangers. Maybe they'll be whatever. But really, it's all about next year. It's all about Spider-Man 4 and Doomsday. And from everything we've seen, they're going big, spectacle, boom. So the shows probably just aren't going to do that. So the shows need to find like little interesting things like this. You know what I mean? So we'll see. It's kind of, they're kind of in this weird, oh, we're doing this, but technically we're going to do one more of these really big shows that matter. I hope they actually make the Vision show really cool, really fun. And ironically, like you look at Agatha. Agatha dominated compared to Daredevil, which is, kind of sucks. I don't know if it's actually Daredevil's fault. You know, because, man, Captain America was just... I feel like Brave New World just really turned a lot of people off. And therefore Daredevil suffered a little bit. But it's wild that like Agatha's show we like really shit on or whatever, it hit like top 3 on the charts. It was doing good, man. And I think a part of it was just the writing. Like the story was good. There's not even like Wanda's not even in the show. You know what I mean? And I like Catherine Hahn, but she's not really a draw like that. Not really. So I think the show was just good. I think it was good. I think people enjoyed it, and a little bit better than I expected it to be, especially that episode 7, which was really crazy. So we'll see. Marvel might be all right. You know, some of these ideas seem cool. This is interesting to me. I don't know what the fuck it means. Ultron in human form. We've heard Jacosta's going to be in this thing. Is Jacosta in human form? By the way, and this would be really crazy, we've seen some set photos that imply Vision on Earth. He's going to be hanging out with Peter Quill. Vision and Peter Quill are a part of the jobless bums. They're grinding Marvel Rivals 14 hours a day. Right? So strange times, man. Crazy things that could be happening in the world of Marvel television. I'm not really sure. But against all of my better instincts, I'm actually starting to get excited about this show. I can't fucking believe it. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about it. Holy. I just hope Horner shows up. I don't know what that means, but yes. How was New York? It was cool. Did you get to go to some billionaires event? Yeah, it was super cool. More baby oil than I expected, but still pretty cool. All right, is there anything else going on, guys? Anything else on the agenda? What else should we talk about? Is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we get out of here today? We're going to get out of here today. And also, I'm not wearing glasses anymore, so you better get fucking used to it, okay? And yes, I will get my hair cut. Just shh. Listen to my dogs out there, man. Like, what's their problem, you know? They don't even have to watch these Disney Plus shows, and they're still complaining. I thought the jobless bums was the Reddit Snyder Bro Army, you motherfucker. You felt so good when you typed that shit out, didn't you? Josh, shout out my dog, Rascal. He just had surgery. Shout out to Rascal, man. Hope he gets a recovery. Did you get LASIK? No, I lost my glasses. It's a different kind of surgery. A lot less invasive. Do you see the new Black Templar in 40K? Hell yeah, looks dope, man. Looks dope. I can't get all the Warhammer armies, though. You understand? I want to, but I can't get all the Warhammer armies. What the hell is this? The Fantastic Four. Oh, a Herbie commercial? Should we watch this? Is this fun? I guess we're going to have some fun. Watch a fun little trailer together, huh?
The Fantastic Four.
Yeah!
Their amazing powers help keep our world safe. But like any modern family, they sometimes need a helping hand. Meet Herbie, the state-of-the-art personal assistant that does everything without a single complaint. And when trouble appears, he's a valuable member of the team. Looks like a delicious meal is on the menu for tonight.
Herbie, how's that sauce coming? That is fantastic. Is this guy good?
So bring Herbie into your home today.
Hello, Herbie.
And live a better life tomorrow. Ask your Herbie to get tickets now.
I don't trust it. Herbie's a psycho. He's got the eyes of a stone cold killer. I don't trust it at all, man. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he's secretly working for Galactus. And he's going to show up in the bar with the live action Ultron. He's running the show, man. This is Darth Jar Jar all over again. Herbie. Come on, man. You guys cannot trust this guy. Look at this guy. Is that a phase you can trust? Hell no. I trust Gunn on Wonder Woman more than I trust Herbie. Shit. Get that LASIK. Best choice I've made. Much love. I don't know if I want to. And plus, isn't it expensive? Isn't LASIK kind of like expensive and shit? I think I'll just squint for the rest of my life. You know? I did not read Imperial yet. I really want to, though. Hopefully this week I can catch up on some comics. About 1K an eye. I had it 10 years ago. Was it good? Maybe I'll just get it in my right eye. So when I scope up on you motherfuckers, it's good. Man, I wish these dogs would shut the fuck up. Get it, Mang, if you can afford it. LASIK can be dangerous, really? The Gunn Instagram post about Hawkgirl, then he praised the film character. I get worried. Yeah. What's Fantastic Four tracking at the box office? So, here, I'll talk briefly about this. I was going to do a full segment about this. Maybe I'll do the segment tomorrow. Maybe some more data will come out as well. Superbots greater than Herbie, 100%. Yeah, hell yeah. So, there is a I guess it's a website or whatever called Box Office Theory. And Box Office Theory does long form projections for box office, and we've talked about them before, but frankly, like, they've been pretty off. And I think we'll get industry projections from other people soon. Okay, but currently they have a wildly big spread for Superman. It's like 45 million. So I think they have it from anywhere from 140 to like one. You know what? Let me just pull it up. I actually have it right here. Let's see here. Come on, just give me a fucking. I wish they would just give me like the numbers. Let's see here. Amazon Prime, general, blah blah blah. I hate the look of this, man. I'm not even gonna read this shit. I wish I could find it easier just on Twitter, probably. If I go Superman box office. Yeah, I was probably just looking at that, Adam. Yeah, I was just looking at that article, and I can't stand that it's just a fucking spreadsheet. So I'm not going to read that. Let me find like a graphic or something. Oh, yeah, right here. Okay. So it says here it's looking to earn between 140 and 185 million. That's a huge spread, man. So, look, I think there's a lot of evidence to suggest that the movie's tracking well. I think it's going to make buku bucks. But I think the reality is, like, I've looked into some of this data. I've seen what other people say about it. And obviously it's a big deal for a lot of different reasons. But I'm not as confident that it's going to open at like 185 or like even close to that. We shall see, though. I think it'll have a really big opening, but even 150 is big, dude. Like, that would be pretty big. So, and that's right about where Fantastic Four is tracking as well. I think F4's tracking is a little bit lower than the tracking for Superman right now. But again, Box Office Theory is not the gold standard. They're actually fairly inaccurate. They just happen to be one of the websites or junkets or whatever that gets it out pretty quick early on. They're a little bit like Samba as compared to Nielsen. Does that make sense? But, I'm not sitting up here saying that I think Superman's going to bomb or anything like that. Like, Superman's going to do very well in the box office. But I do not think this is accurate. And also, like, what a spread. Like, what a spread. You know what I mean? Like, that's such a wild spread. So we'll see. We shall see. Will F4 reach younger demos? Most of the 14 to 24 demo didn't grow up with the Marvel animated shows nor the comics, so F4 may not have as much fame based on that with people you think. Yeah, I think that's fair. We're going to see, man. You know, there's a lot of questions out there. 100%, I think that's a valid concern, though. Tiberius, thanks for the 5-spot, brother. Says, what up, Josh? Just here to show some support to the Den of Nerds. Also, glasses are cool. Shout out to all the Nerdvengers rocking them eyeglasses. Hell yeah, man. Shout out to the nerds wearing glasses. I gotta go get a new pair, man. Maybe I'll get a couple pairs, you know? Maybe I'll get a couple cool pairs, and then I'll look cool like all the cool kids at school. You know? Appreciate you. Glasses are tight. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, wow, really? Oh, that doesn't seem good. Josh, where's your comic? What do you mean? Unity? Unity is delayed. Unity is delayed. Clear glasses, James Gunn style. I actually like the clear glasses look. I think the clear glasses are cool. Yeah, I think they're cool. What's the cause for the delay? Hey, backseater, just hit me up privately, man. I've talked about this a million fucking times on stream, okay? Are you a backer? Are you a supporter? If so, just email me. You know what I mean? Navy effed up my teeth, fixed a cavity, and they cracked my teeth. Wow. Don't let the Army do your medical work. Yeah. Medical stuff's weird, dude. I've heard some real horror stories about medical procedures, especially dental procedures. Kind of seems like the teeth and all that are like, it's kind of a tricky kind of surgery, you know what I mean? End this stream with some Warhammer lore. I mean, I could definitely do that. We could potentially do a whole Warhammer stream this week, maybe, depending on how the news goes, if it's sort of light. I will say that I'm definitely cooking up a lot of Warhammer content, and I can show you some of the thumbnails and whatnot. Here, let me show you a couple things here, because I'm excited, dude. I've been cooking. I've been in the lab cooking on some Warhammer content. Oh, yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, you know what? I gotta shrink this down so you guys can see it a little bit better. Here's one of the thumbnails here for the Custodes video I'm gonna do. The best of the best. If you didn't know, they're the best of the best. And so I'm excited to talk about that. Also, is Rob randomly in here? Ascending Rumble. You are a Nerd Venger now, man. Welcome. Welcome to the Nerd Vengers. So here's a series I want to do, as long as Rob isn't too mad that I'm totally stealing his thumbnail style. Check this out. Check this out. Omega level Dante. Omega level Valdor. Omega level Malcador. Hell yeah. Rob probably stole it from someone anyway. Yeah, true. I don't think he'll care. Dante from Devil May Cry? No. Dante from the Blood Angels, man. You gotta watch this video. Hello? Roka got LASIK. Doesn't he still wear glasses? What the hell? Am I crazy? Get your Warhammer channel sponsored by the Calm app. You watch your fucking mouth, Haunted Autumn. And also become a member again. Dante from Clerks? No. No. Dante from Mallrats? Jesus, there's a lot of Dantes. Wow, I didn't realize. Yeah, these are going to be fun, man. Yeah, these are gonna be fun. Dante from the Inferno. Oh, good one, bro. Good one. Yeah, these are gonna be sick, dude. Who are my favorite YouTube painters? Squidmar, 100% Squidmar. I think the dude's name is J-Star. He's really good. The Feral Painter. I like him a lot. It's like some grimdark dude. I forget his name. Like the Grimdark Compendium or something. He does great painting. I like that grimdark style. That's a little bit more my style. But yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. We got some cool Warhammer videos cooking. I honestly have some really cool Marvel videos cooking too. There's some fun Marvel stuff that we're cooking as well. But yeah, man, overall, I'm feeling good. Hey, by the way, a couple of random things going on, okay? Let me talk to you about a couple of random things while we're in here. Your boy Strange 519 says, I'm 40 minutes behind, but do you think Gunn will do all the Justice League characters himself? Oh, God, I hope not. I hope not. Rob, we need to talk video. Hit me in the feels big time. Oh, I don't know that I saw it. Was it about Benny? Hey, Haunted Autumn, welcome back to the Nerd Vengers. Now I'm not mad at you anymore, so there you go. I was right. So a couple of things going on that I thought were really cool. First of all, I did not realize that Gears of War 1 was going cross-platform and they had a beta and people were testing that out. That sounds really cool, man. I mean, the thing about that is, like, what a better way to get on there and shit on PlayStation people. You know what I mean? Like, it's finally our time. You know what I mean? Get in there and all these PlayStation people are like, I don't understand. Boom, two-piece, motherfucker, you're done. You're done. So that's kind of cool. Like, I'd love to get on there and shit on PlayStation people. That'd be cool. You're not cooking me. Yeah, right, bro. Yeah, right. You don't even know where the power weapons are. You don't even know. And also I saw randomly that Halo had a new like Halo 3 kind of anniversary thing where they did all these Halo 3 maps. They have a bunch of the Halo 3 armor in the game. Kind of dope, dude. I've been thinking about getting on Halo a little bit more. I've been thinking about getting on Halo, baby. And if the next Halo game goes cross-platform too, oh, I'm going to shit on all you PlayStation people so hard. PlayStation people would be like, you know what? This is kind of fun. I see what the Xbox players have. Boom! No scope! Boom! Nutsack on your face! That's how we do it around here. Oh, I can't wait. So I'm hoping the next, because I want to get that handheld Xbox thing too, so I can shit on PlayStation people while I'm like, I mean, who am I kidding? I don't really leave the house. But, you know, it would be fun to be able to do it like on the couch or whatever. Hell yeah. Hey, who's this Justify motherfucker? Ban him. Ban him. Teabaggers mount up. Exactly, dude. Exactly. It's time to show them. It's time to show them. Yeah, so I hope that I don't know. Xbox is kind of in an interesting spot. If another Halo comes out, supposedly it's going to be on Unreal, so that'll be a dub. Hopefully it doesn't suck balls like Infinite. And if it's cross-platform and people get really into it, that'll be fun. We can play as a community, and I can just shit on all of you guys. And then what else is going on? Man, I've been thinking about trying to play some Warhammer this week, cooking up some lists here and there. Kind of want to get back on Rivals. I still haven't really played a ton of Rivals. But yeah, there's some fun stuff going on in gaming. What else is going on, huh? Josh, I be waxing Justin in Rivals? Really? Wow. Probably because they nerfed his best character. Yeah. Probably because they nerfed his best character and he can't really flex, so... Hey, speaking of that, what should we do this Wednesday, guys? Should we play some Rivals together this Wednesday? I don't really have a plan for this Wednesday, but yeah, we're going to do a member stream again. I watched all the Predator movies after Killers of Killers. Wow, dude, that's crazy. Which one did you like? Which one you like? Huh? With a splash of Coin Master. I don't know what that means. That's why Xbox going like software route rather than hardware. No, yeah, I think so. I think that's their plan, yeah. I think that's their plan, man. A splash of Animal Kingdom? What is happening here? I'm a Magic main now, so it doesn't matter. Ooh, okay. Is Magic's pretty good right now? That's cool. That's cool. I really like the Magic X-Men skin they gave her, the blue and yellow. That is clean, dude. That is clean. I'm just pretty good. Oh, yeah? What are you ranked? Do I make my... Wait, what? Josh, you make my software hardware? Okay. All right, bud. All right, bud. He wanted a shirtless stream? Yeah, I bet you do. Down for some rivals? Yeah, that'd be fun. I'll think about it. I don't know there's too much else going on, so we could probably just do a chill-ass Rivals stream. Yeah, and then I don't think that's... I think we kind of got into all the news, boys and girls, so that might be it for today's stream, man. Probably gonna get out of here. I'll work on some video stuff. Just kind of keep it moving. And, yeah, we'll be back at it tomorrow. Hopefully some cool news drops. But if no news drops, we'll just do Warhammer. We'll just talk about Warhammer. We'll just do like a Warhammer stream. We'll just talk all about the lore and just it'll be a nice just all about Warhammer stream. So that'll be chill. That'll be real chill. Any other thoughts, comments, questions? I missed your super chat from the beginning of the stream. No offense, but I'm probably not going to go back to read it. I'll go through. Let's see here. I think I got that. 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 I actually think I got most of the chats, which is kind of random because like I'm not trying to. Blah, blah, blah. He's gonna use this as an excuse to. Yeah. No, I'm not gonna read all the super chats anymore. Just not gonna do it. Like, if you catch me with it, like, I'm gonna definitely read it, and I appreciate all the support, but, I'm not gonna get as, like, bogged down as I used to. And, like, there are a lot of people that, like, I'm sorry, man, but, like, people, yeah, exactly, Adam. And it's like, look, it's fine, and, like, I don't even have to be rude about it, but, like, honestly, I'm just over it. Like, you know, frankly, even if you give a lot of money, if I don't like what you got to say, I'm not reading it. Like, and that's just a me thing, and it will be fine. You know what I mean? Like, I do not care, and I think most people won't care, to be honest. So, you have a face for glasses. Thanks, bud. Really appreciate it. That's real sweet. Yeah. Yeah. It is what it is. Yeah, exactly. I'll read what I can. Yeah. Protect your mentals. Yeah, I mean, that's ultimately what it's about, right? It's like, I get it. Everybody wants to act like a bunch of kids in the classroom with a substitute teacher. Totally get it. But at the end of the day, like, I just have to keep my own mental going. And, like, bro, there's no amount of money that a person could send that I would truly consider it like, oh, they're entitled. Now I must. Like, nah, man, I'm sorry. That's just, I have too much respect for myself and for the platform, the time, the mind. So, nah. Yeah. RIP Nerd Theory. Well, look, I mean, the truth is, like, you know, Theory feels differently than I do about it. And it's going to just be one of those situations where, you know, we'll be in the middle. You know, because Theory and I had some conversations about this too. I mean, we just definitely feel differently about it. And that's fine, because that's a collaboration. You know what I mean? So. I don't always super, but when I do, I bet your ass you read it. Yeah, no, I probably do. Yeah. I was about to send a 1K super chat, but I guess never mind. Fucking highly doubt it. Plus, you can't even do that. You could send a 500 one, though. I think that's the limit. Is a 500. And I might just dead ass be like, hey, thanks for the 500, bitch. And then just move on. So that's kind of the vibe. Much love, everybody. Appreciate you guys. We'll be back at it tomorrow, man. It should be a good week. A lot of fun stuff. I'm cooking up a ton of content, man. A ton of content. And so we'll have a lot of fun this week. That's for damn show. All right, everybody. Much love. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for being here. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Oh man. What a time to be alive. We actually got into a lot there, man. That was like a lot of little stories, a lot going on, man, you know? A lot of it's pretty interesting too, so we shall see what the news brings us tonight and tomorrow. We shall see. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here. Hope you were entertained. Hope you had a good time. We'll see you later, man. Just do me one little favor. Actually, two. Open up your third eye. And wash out your stinky butt. Oh.